Hola, buenos días. Inauguramos ahora la segunda jornada del BNU, un evento híbrido, digital y presencial, un evento B2B organizado por el Consorci de la Zona Franca de Barcelona. Os saludamos desde La Pedrera. Este es el canal B-Talent, dedicado a dar respuesta a las necesidades de formación, liderazgo y talento que plantea la nueva economía. Hoy tendremos aquí 4 paneles, un debate y un inspirational talk. Antes de empezar, dar las gracias a nuestros patrocinadores globales de BNU, Ayuntamiento de Barcelona, ACBAR, Servihabitat y Ministerio de Transporte, Movilidad, Agenda Urbana. Vamos a empezar el panel de hoy, que se llama, aquí lo tengo, BCOLLABORATIVE. Estamos viviendo una época realmente emocionante. Hay quien la llama la cuarta revolución industrial. Y es que la llegada de las tecnologías nos ha cambiado mucho las vidas, en muchos aspectos. La manera de relacionarnos, de comunicarnos, de estudiar, de comprar, de vender, de trabajar. También las necesidades de conocimientos y habilidades requeridas por las empresas se han transformado. Pero, ¿cuáles han sido estos cambios en las empresas del Mediterráneo? ¿Qué capacidad tiene la región mediterránea de formar a los jóvenes o de reciclar y dotar de más capacidades a sus trabajadores en estos conocimientos y habilidades? Es decir, ¿qué capacidad tiene la región mediterránea de generar talento? Decía Yuval Noah Harari, el autor del libro Sapiens, que el factor que más ha hecho progresar a la especie humana a lo largo de la historia ha sido la colaboración. ¿Se podrían establecer lazos más fuertes entre Barcelona, la región mediterránea y África a través del intercambio de este talento? De todo esto vamos a hablar en el primer panel de hoy, BCOLLABORATIVE. Y para ello damos la bienvenida a nuestra moderadora de este panel. Ella es Ana Escoda. Good morning. Buenos días, bon día. Ella es Chief Operating Officer de ASCAME. Ella es colaboradora habitual de BNU, Senior International Relations Specialist in charge of managing and executing international and Mediterranean projects and initiatives based on the blue economy, green economy, and digital transformation. Wow.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And welcome to Marc Fernández and Pau Solanilla Franco. Welcome. Welcome to the BNU. And also we have Nanko Madhu. He is online. Hello. Welcome. Are you there? We hope so.
Yes. Thank you, Anna.
Good morning. And we also have Ahmed Al-Wakil. Hello, Ahmed. Are you there?
Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning and welcome, everybody. So let's start.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you for the introduction. I'm glad to be here today with these high-level speakers that we have here, physically in the venue and also online. It's a great pleasure to share with all of you these great topics and time. And let's start with the panel and also presenting the topics that we are going to discuss today. I'm going to present also the Commissioner for the Economic Promotion and City Brand of the City Council of Barcelona. We have here Pau Solanilla. Thank you very much for being here today with us. You will share with all of us, also all the audience, the challenges that the Mediterranean region is facing to create that kind of talent and prosperity that we are trying to find here in today's session, putting special emphasis as key words to digitalization, right? Also climate change, also training and education, and collaborative economy, among others. Also, secondly, thanks to the president of the Association of Mediterranean Chambers of Commerce of the Mediterranean region, Ahmed Al-Wakil, who chairs the boards also of the Alexandria Chambers of Commerce. We will enrich our conception also about the regional socio-economic development through the projects and actions that are implementing through ASCAME and also through the Alexandria Chambers of Commerce. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for being here today with all of us. Also, thank you, Ahmed. Thank you. Thanks to the Deputy Head of Cabinet of the Union for the Mediterranean, we have here with us Marc Sanchez. Thank you. We will have the opportunity to talk about such interesting topics as the Euro-Mediterranean cooperation to face the challenges that the region is facing to create that area of peace and stability, and also to find and promote talent. Thank you very much. And also, last but not least, through the Director of Programs in AfriLab's network organization, Mr. Nanko Madhu. Thank you for being here also with all of us. We will have the opportunity to talk about the economic development strategies and capacity building programs that supports the growth of the African technology and innovation ecosystem. Therefore, starting with this BCOLLABORATIVE panel, please, Mr. Pau Solanilla, we will start with you. Could you present us your perspective about how the Mediterranean and European and also African regions can build stronger ties through talent?
Thank you so much for the invitation, and greetings to Mark and the colleagues that are in the other side of the screen. In this first round, I would like to share with you 7 ideas, 7 concepts that I think are critical factors in order to link talent to the prosperity of the region. The first one is about competitiveness. Talent and competitiveness are linked. There is no competitiveness without talent. Without talent, there is no competitiveness. So this is the first challenge. And talent has become the new oil. In the 20th century, oil has been a key factor. Today, talent is the new oil. When we talk about digital transformation, we should invest in connectivity. It's a condition sine qua non. But we can have very good infrastructures, but without talent, these infrastructures, new digital infrastructures, are useless. So talent is a key factor. Talent is a new oil. Secondly, we have to understand how we are becoming a new market, a labor market, or the new labor markets that are coming, what we call the futures of work. We used to work in certain way. This has exploded. There are new ways of jobs, and we have to identify very clear what is going on about the workers' profile, the generational changes, the labor specialities, the specialization of cities. The city of Barcelona is a global digital capital. So we have to pay attention to what is going on in the labor markets in order to link talent to the merging needs of the markets. Third, talent is based in education. Obviously, we know that to reform our education systems is very costly in terms of money and time consuming. But in our digital transformation and in order to respond to the climate change challenges we need to invest in skills. Education is a responsibility of the states, but for example, cities like Barcelona, we are investing very much. One of our priorities is skills, to provide new skills to people to insert in these new labor markets in order to provide to the market new talent. For that, we need to invest in upskilling, re-skilling, and cities like Barcelona, we have established our IT academy in order to train 3,000 people in the coming years. So, the raise of talent. Fourth, the economy of equality. We need to empower women and young people in the region, both in Africa and in the Mediterranean. We cannot be competitive, we cannot be a region with talent if we leave behind young people and women. So an economy of equality. This is the fourth pillar of a region. The fifth is to understand the new dynamics of the collaborative economy. People used to go where companies offer jobs. Nowadays, companies goes where the talent is. So if we are able to provide talent in the region, the companies will come. And in the digital economy, we know that we need to have the region as a platform. The Mediterranean is not anymore a physical space. Obviously, it's a physical space. But the Mediterranean and Africa should be a hub of talent, a hub of opportunities. And digital economy allows us the opportunity to build up a new platform in order to provide this talent to develop our regions. And finally, the key factor is alliances, new coalitions, new coherences. Pandemics has shown us very clear that alone we cannot do anything. A city like Barcelona, that is one of the leading cities in the world, cannot solve all the problems alone. We need coalitions, we need city coalitions, we need public and private and social new partnerships in order to overcome the challenges that we have. So talent is a key factor, but we have to reimagine many of the things that we are doing nowadays. The region has an opportunity to merge, but we need to do it with creativity, with intelligence, and as I said before, new coherences, new coalitions, new alliances. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a great point also to arise that kind of platform of the Mediterranean region, and also to arise the collaborativeness among all the key actors involved in the region to reach that standards of talent that sure we will have in the near future. Thank you very much. Now moving to Ahmed El-Wakil. Thank you, Ahmed El-Wakil. Could you please give us some samples of projects, and also implemented by ASCAME and also by the Chambers of Commerce of Alexandria about the Mediterranean region, that can build that kind of stronger ties to reach that talent?
Okay, good morning,
Good morning.
everybody. First of all, I would like to mark that innovation and entrepreneurship not only increase productivity in existing industry and create jobs in new ones, they can completely transform the economies and societies. Talent without borders creates value, and inclusive and adaptive style that cultivates the ability to bring out the best in a diverse environment. It is great boost for economy, the creation of new companies, and internationalization of existing ones. The most successful companies are those that incorporate the influence and value of other cultures. They enable a broad spectrum of people. The young people of Mediterranean, Europe, Africa belong to a single generation, and that they bear shared responsibilities in a world in common, and common value that can contribute to a profound change in Mediterranean. Thanks to the European Union support through its regional project like EPSOMED and cross-border cooperation, we are implementing tens of projects worth over 100 million euros. All are geared towards to the support of startups and SMEs incubation and acceleration, both general and sectoral. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Al-Wakil. And can you give us also some linkages between that were created by chambers of commerce between the businesses and academia? Sorry, I think that we are facing some technical problems. Can you hear us, Mr. Ahmed Al-Wakil?
Yes, I didn't heard what is your question.
Okay, sorry, I'm going to repeat it. If you can share with us some examples that linkages created through chambers of commerce between businesses and academia.
Yes, sure. In all we work, we build upon academic research. We have huge collaboration with university here, both in our EU project as well as in our day-to-day work. The Arab academic in Alexandria and also Alexandria University are key partners. As an example, beside project, we have joint incubators hosting hundreds of youth. We work on cross-legal studies for reformers and improving the business climates. However, proper education, training, and incubation switches the Mediterranean youth from a population problem. Therefore, we are working hard with the academia here as an example with Alexandria University and the Arab Academic in Alexandria.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Al-Wakil. Thank you very much for your inputs. Okay, now moving to our third panelist, Mr. Marc Sanchez. Do you think that the Barcelona process started back in 1995 still offers that kind of solutions to tackle the challenges that we are facing nowadays in the Euro-Mediterranean region, and particularly its youth?
So good morning, and thank you for inviting the Union for the Mediterranean and myself. Indeed, the so-called Barcelona process started back in 1995, and it laid out three main objectives. One political, which was to build an area of peace and stability. One economic, which was to share prosperity. And the third was more of a social and cultural objective, which was to create partnerships where we can all get together and understand better each other. Now, while the first objective is evidently one of the big challenges that we're facing in the Mediterranean today, I would like to focus on the second objective, which was the shared prosperity, especially because I think that affects youth more than most likely more than anybody else. Let me first lay out the three, I'd say the three main challenges that we're facing right now in this regard. First is that youth in the MENA countries is largely the biggest part of the population. We're looking at a population between 15 and 25 years old, just 50% of the overall population, and out of that, 25% are currently unemployed. Second thing is that affects particularly women. In these regions, women are up to 50% unemployed, which is obviously a social, cultural, political problem, but it is also an economic problem, because many studies show that obviously if the position of women in the labor market was to be as it should, as it say equal to that of men, the region would prosper enormously, up to 490 billion in 10 years in GDP. And the third big issue, to my view, is that we're also looking at a situation where the youth are not necessarily empowered and talent is not necessarily being taken into consideration and promoted as it should in the region. Obviously, there are many other problems facing societies in our region, in the Mediterranean, but I think this is particularly important. Now, having said that, I think that to answer to your question, the Barcelona process is still very much useful in the sense that it is focusing, as of now, in promoting the development of the socio-economic conditions that will allow for the reaching of those three main objectives that we mentioned before and that were set out in 1995. Tackling the problems of youth is key to that, and that is why the Union for the Mediterranean, for instance, is promoting the upskilling and the reskilling that Pau was talking about in very different domains. That is why we're also acting on gender equality, training women, especially in digital skills, which is obviously an absolute must today. And basically, one of the ways in which we're doing this is projects for development. Another one is gatherings of experts, and that's, I understand, where talent comes into play, because one of the main tasks of the UFM is gathering together all of the, not all of them obviously, but the main brains, the biggest talents in the Euro-Mediterranean region when it comes to the big areas where we work on, which are these socio-economic areas. We're talking digital transformation, civil protection, we're talking social inclusion, we're talking, which obviously includes gender equality, socio-economic and specifically economic sustainable development, and obviously climate action and the protection of biodiversity. These actually are the 5 main priorities laid out by the UFM co-presidency back in 2020 when we celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Barcelona process. So I think acting in these key areas and gathering together the experts that we have in the Euro-Mediterranean region is key. And it is, as of now, showing, to my understanding, that we have lots of talent in the region, and we have to promote it, and we have to actually find ways, we can talk about that later on, but we have to find ways to promote mobility in the region as well, so that we can all benefit from this talent. Because whatever happens now in the southern shore of the Mediterranean affects the north, and the other way around. We're talking about a completely interconnected economy, and we have to share that talent.
Thank you very much. And linking to that, how do you see the role of the European Union to promote both shores of the Mediterranean region?
Well, I think the EU is an absolutely key actor in this regard. Not only because back in 1995 it was behind the actually Spanish-Italian initiative to launch the Barcelona process, but also because 25 years later we're witnessing a relaunching of what is called the European Union neighborhood policy towards the south. Now, as everybody knows, there's an eastern and a southern side to that neighborhood policy. And regaining interest in the south, roughly 15 years after the accession of the 10 Central and Eastern European countries, I think is key. Spanish diplomacy was, I have to say, very much behind this relaunching, but there is a growing interest in Brussels in making the Mediterranean work and in assuring that socio-economic prosperity is shared by everyone. That is why the European Council back in December last year had its first, in many years, conversation and debate on the Mediterranean and the southern dimension of the ENP. That is also why back in February, if I'm not mistaken, there was a new agenda for the Mediterranean put forth by the European Commission, which was obviously endorsed by the Council on Foreign Relations in a very interesting set of conclusions that was published in 19th April, which states for an ever closer connection between the north and the south. For instance, by organizing ministerial meetings in the sectorial areas that I've mentioned before, and that are kept actually as much as possible back to back. This is still to be decided, but back to back with the ministerial meetings that the Union for the Mediterranean also organizes. I think this shows to what extent the European Union is conscious of the importance of the region, and I am pretty sure that this year and next year we're going to talk about the Mediterranean a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for these valuable inputs. And now moving to the fourth panelist, Mrs. Nanko Madhu. Can you please explain us a bit about the role is AfriLabs currently playing in facilitating some of these activities to enhance also the building of the ties of this kind of ties across the Mediterranean region and also Europe and Africa?
Thank you. Just check that you can hear me.
Yes, Mrs. Nanko?
Okay. Yeah, so interesting conversation, amazing, and it's in line with most of the things that I was thinking about when I was just thinking of this topic, yeah? So AfriLabs is considerably engaged in certain activities that can strengthen cross-continental ties, specifically in the areas of cross-continental partnership and networking events. One of such examples is the African-Europe Digital Innovation Bridge Program. It's an EU-funded program, and it's basically aimed at strengthening, a common African-European digital innovation ecosystem by supporting local digital innovation and startup ecosystem in Africa and facilitating the collaboration between European and African digital innovation hubs. There's going to be capacity building, transfer of skills and knowledge from the developed, European countries to Africa. So we have that ongoing. Another example is our program, the AU Digital and Innovation Fellowship Program, where 10 fellows are assigned to support and prefer digital and innovative solutions to data management challenges at the AU. Now, the fellows will at some point go on a learning tour to Tech for Germany in Germany to just experience and further build their capacity and build their talent, to grow as humans. We at AfriLabs, in addition, we do a lot of capacity building for tech managers and founders in Africa, and the aim is to enable them to better support the startups that are under them, to make them successful and to make them investable. And investment, as we've seen, is also a tool for cross-continental collaboration, because you have investors that invest into startups on the continent, they expand their footprint, expand their geographical reach, and just foster economic growth for both, the country in Africa and Europe. We get through like intense physical trainings and workshops. We hold cross-regional peer-to-peer learning webinars and activities, cross-continental programs. Okay, we run programs we run programs with international, particularly Europe. Europe is one of our biggest markets, so we run a lot of programs with European organizations. We access a lot of funding from European, organizations, the EU, GIZ, FCDO. Oh, sorry, FCDO is not European, but I mean just external and global organizations. So that's what we do. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. And can you explain us a bit more about how does AfriLabs build this capacity of innovations, kind of innovators and entrepreneurs across the African borders, the initiatives and that kind of more specific programs?
Yes. So one of our biggest programs is the AfriLabs Capacity Building Program. It's a program funded by the Agence Française de Développement. It focuses on building the capacity of tech hubs. By the way, we have, a reach of 291 plus tech hubs within our network across 49 African countries. And so what this program does is, within the region, within the continent, there's a lot of cross, country learnings, cross-country collaborations, cross-country partnerships, and trade. Yeah. So we foster that. We have online learning virtual learning to better build the capacity of these people so they are skilled. It's only when they're skilled that they're able to, trickle that skill and knowledge to their startups, and the startups then grow to be successful. We have peer-to-peer learning, like I said earlier on, that we, foster for the tech hubs, the managers, the founders. We hold physical workshops. So under the program, for example, we're currently running regional physical workshops across Africa. So we've had, one in Nairobi that catered for the East African region. We have one in North Africa that caters for the Northern African region, in Cairo, sorry, that caters for the North African region, Accra that caters for the West African region. And what we basically do is bring the different participants from the different countries and just, train them first, encourage them to network, encourage them to cross-learn, because what is happening in a different country might be different from what is happening in another country, but, just listening to it and learning can enable, the person from the different country to just say, oh, maybe I can implement this in my, for my hub or for my startups, and it might foster that skill development and talent improvement, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nanko. Thank you for all of you with these great inputs that we are sharing with the audience today. Now in that stage of the panel, let's move to the Q&A section. Okay. We have one question to Mr. Pau Solanilla. Can you bring us some kind of specific samples about how to retain talent and how to foster that kind of talent, like specific actions or activities that you can share with us as a sample?
Yes, of course, thank you. I think that in those of us that we are working in trying to attract talent, for example, to the city of Barcelona, we know that we need to keep a balance between what I was mentioned before and a platform for competitiveness and also a good quality of life. I mean, talent goes where not only where there are job opportunities, but the best talent nowadays is going where there are job opportunities and quality of life. This is why cities like Barcelona, and I think that the cities has a role to play, it needs to develop a global concept of city. We need to reimagine our cities in order to provide a platform where people can come, where we can attract talent and we can retain talent, because the quality of our life, the personal life, is satisfactory for the person and for the families. So we can not only look into the business sector, into creating job opportunities, because we need to balance with some other issues like leisure time, educational centers, good communications, good health systems. So talent is attracted and retained by those territories that are able to build up a comprehensive, a coherence balance between the labor life and the private life. So, therefore, Barcelona, we have, I think, a good example. Yesterday evening, we have a gathering of a group of institutions and companies that we organized together on the 23rd of October, what we call the International Community Day. We organize an one-day event with 50 activities, with 70 exhibitors, almost 3,000 people, in order to give visibility and recognition to international community. Barcelona nowadays have 1/4 of the population, almost 24-25% of the population of Barcelona have foreign passports. Mm-hmm. So this is talent that has decided to come to Barcelona from abroad. Mm-hmm. So what we have to do is to provide them with the recognition, with the care, in order to retain this talent. The second element is not only recognition, is to listen what they feel, what they propose, how they see our city in order to improve the conditions of the city to continue attracting talent. The talent attract new talent. So if you retain talent, they are the best ambassadors to attract new talent. This is why the city of Barcelona is investing a lot of energy and efforts in both, in attracting talent, but as well in retaining talent, in providing them not only the labor conditions, but also the good life conditions as a city of a Mediterranean city, with a good climate, with a good geographical position, with good connections with Europe, with Africa, with the Mediterranean. So it's a balance of, it's a mixture of things. So this is not about a campaign, a marketing campaign to attract talent. This is about quality, quality of life, and quality of the labor market that you have, or the job opportunities that you provide.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a great point. Thank you. Okay, now we have another questions. One question for Mr. Ahmed El-Wakil. Can you please give some specific examples about our success stories about these kind of linkages between the businesses and academia, bring it by the chambers of commerce?
Yes, we have tens of success stories where we incubated talent whose ideas are large company now, and we further internationalize them to be regional and even become worth hundreds of million euros. Names such as Swivel and Trella are gradations of such process. Therefore, I believe this is two samples of two companies that become large companies in the time now here in Egypt.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed El-Wakil. Okay, we have also one question for Mr. Marc Sanchez. Well, we talk a lot about the platform, Mediterranean region as a platform, also the cooperation actions in the whole Mediterranean region, and how we can establish that kind of cooperation and fruitful relations among the whole region, and also among both shores of the Mediterranean to reach that kind of talent that we are looking for.
Well, I think there are two dimensions to that objective, maybe. One is, obviously, which I mentioned before, working on improving the socioeconomic conditions of our people in the Euro-Mediterranean zone. And I think that goes as well for finding mechanisms to promote mobility. Mobility is actually a key word, to my view, in the Mediterranean, because it implies that whoever wants to show what with his talent he can do in another country, in an ideal world should be able to do those, especially if that talent is required, like Pau said, and is needed in other parts of the world. And I'm not talking about migration here. I'm not talking about south to north. I'm even talking about mobility in the south, actually. And that is one of the projects that we could promote, and actually we're promoting at the Union for the Mediterranean, which is establishing, advancing cooperation between universities, research and innovation in the south. There is going to be a Union for the Mediterranean ministerial conference, most likely, it's not yet confirmed, but next year on that, precisely on research and innovation. And I think this cooperation, we could even, at some point, somebody mentioned some years ago, take the form of Euro-Mediterranean Erasmus. Why not? I think that's an idea that has to be on the table, and that could allow us to improve the exchange of talent in all the ways possible. I think also, considering the fact that that we have huge gaps in gender equality, as we said before. I think focusing specifically also on the talent that can be brought about by women is paramount to this strategy in the region. And for that, I think cities, local diplomacy, national diplomacy, and obviously the European Union have a key role in promoting gender equality in this part of the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. This is a great point to take into account also mobility in that, like, to focus on that as a kind of a challenge also to reach that level of talent that we are looking for. Also, we have another question for Mrs. Nanko Madhu. How can we begin to take action in our own ways and within our capacities to further strengthen what's being done? How we can do to foster that?
Okay, so just to foster, from the African perspective, to foster this talent exchange, talent collaborations, I'd say the starting point has to be the regions themselves, so Africa, Europe, Mediterranean, forming alliances, being strategic partners that are capitalizing on various dimensions of the regional cooperation and making most of strengthening existing platforms and instruments for both Africa and the European Union. Persons and organizations all have a role to play as well, even in their different capabilities. So while organizations like AfriLabs might promote stronger cross-continental ties by facilitating beneficial cross-continental partnerships and collaboration opportunities in the tech and innovation space, if I may add. Other organizations could explore other initiatives within their sectors, for example, healthcare, education, energy, and basically do that. So some of the examples of things that can be done are like worker exchange programs across the different organizations. So maybe it's a talent from Africa or workers from Africa move to European cities and countries for a short period of time to just learn, go on learning tours to learn what is happening there. And same, workers or talents from Europe come here to, one, impact the knowledge that they have, but also learn, on the local level, what is happening in Africa, how are they solving their problems, and then build on that and just expand innovation and digitization. For me, the key takeaway, however, is to continue to take action, okay, regardless of the form employed or the different stakeholders that are employed. Just take action to further foster this and build these ties across these regions.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if some of you want to add something else to some question arise to some other panelists, and you want to add something else like a key, like a brief key.
I would like to be a little bit provocative in the sense that where we are talking of talent in the Mediterranean region as well as in Euro-African region, I think there is a precondition to raise talent, is to tolerate certain creative chaos. And sometimes we are obsessed by controlling everything. And if we want to really innovate and to raise talent, we need to give room, space for our young people, our women, to innovate, to do new things. And later on, we will build up certain coherence and control of the things. But if we try to have control on everything that is happening in our societies, we kill talent, we kill innovation. Mm-hmm. So we need, as Mark said before, to empower people, to empower women, empower our young people. Unless this region is condemned to enemy, economic enemy, cultural enemy, etc. So we need courage. We need more freedom in a sense of empowering people and allow people to have a creative process. And the the results of that, we will collect all together. Mm-hmm. But we need to empower people. I think that Mark raised a very good point. Empower people. Let's have the courage to leave room for people to create and to be innovative.
Mm-hmm. As a kind of investment also. Okay. I don't know if some of you want to add something else also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'll just
Nanko.
like to touch a little bit around, uh, from our perspective in Africa, when you talk of talent and you talk of, cross-continental, one of the most controversial things that comes up is migration, illegal migration, and all of that. And I think that, that we could come up with policies that can checkmate this, but still strengthen the ties in doing that. Okay. From data has shown that there seems to be a skill shortage in some European countries. And so the system can be a bit more open to accepting skilled migrants through programs. So they can set up programs. So for example, in Canada, there's the Federal Skilled Worker Program that just, through that program, Canada is able to access skilled, legal skilled migrants from Africa. Okay, so, European countries, Barcelona can begin to think of, programs like that to be able to access, talent from Africa. We can strengthen talent sourcing from Africa by addressing ongoing unresolved challenges and disagreement, such as the thorny issue of migration between Africa and Europe. I think personally that over the years, Europe has missed the opportunity to work with Africa to just manage the reality of human mobility and etc. And we can begin to have those conversations. We can begin to build those policies and take actions. Thank you.
Thank you, Nanko. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much to all of you. We are reaching the end of the session, and therefore we are going to summarize your inputs that we get today in this Be Collaborative panel. Just to summarize a bit the interesting content discussed, I would like to highlight the importance given to Mr. Pau Solanilla to training and education as a priority to attract and retain talent. Also, to conceptualize the Mediterranean region as a platform to take advantage of all its opportunities. And also, Mr. Ahmed El-Wakil, thank you very much for linking also the topic with the socio-economic development, sharing your initiatives, and also the full support of the European Union through a host of projects and also internationalization activities. Also, thank you very much to Mr. Marc Sanchez to highlight also the importance of the Euro-Mediterranean cooperation to take action all together to face the challenges related to environment, also growth, gender equality, education, youth, among other topics. And also thank you, Mrs. Nanko Madhu, for linking your speech with the economic development strategies and also capacity building programs to support the growth of the African technology and innovation ecosystem. Thank you very much for your inputs that you share with all the audience today.
And I have to say thank you very much, Anna, for moderating this panel as good as you did. Thank you very much, Pau and Mark, for being here. Thank you, Nanko and Ahmed, for connecting with us. And thank you very much, all of you, for being here listening. We are run out of time. We end this panel now. And we will continue with another panel, Be Learner. This will be at 12 o'clock. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors, Port de Barcelona and BCN Centre de Disseny. See you at 12.